Shalom. Shalom. This will be the final excerpt, number 7, of the book entitled Yom Kippur. Let's go. Let's see here. This book is entitled R, period, the letter R, then period. Subtitle: Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is fastest of them all? Not Rihanna. Silence is golden. How the Luciferian molest your children, by proxy through backdoor Trojan horse. Think the way an angry mob march, protest, riot, crowd physically breaks down physical gates, physical constructs within the physical natural realm. Here, we're dealing in total sums of utterance combined to produce a uniform tongue of that false Christ and false prophet, hip-hop, whose bars spring forth death upon whosoever comes into contact with its plague like an airborne Ebola, bypass natural safeguards of the heart and mind, therefore subversion/infiltration of, period. Next chapter. Odyssey of terraforms within a galaxy, across galaxies. Consider a Macintosh when it is first born, clean in and out, free of any virus or malware, within from without. Let's say mom or dad allows their defenseless Macintosh to be exposed to viruses without. Even in infancy, deposits are made within that Macintosh irreversibly so. As time goes on, the compound interest of installed malware snowballs until a tipping point that will manifest in the natural at every stage of childhood. Next chapter. For highly melanated. Consider the cluster of things when one plucks out naps from their scalp. View those clusters as microscopic wires. Now visualize the millions of wires for a supercomputer like, quote, the cloud, end quote. In the natural, now consider how there are cell towers everywhere in that slum that communicate via signal. What are the antennas atop of your head used for? How do we receive signals to communicate with other people verbally/non-verbally? How are radiations produced by, quote, smarts, end quote, technologies? What type of signals are you receiving in that slum? Next chapter. Angels and demons. Regards to intangibles of the metaphysical, I suspect are constructs of ultra-condensed matter made of light or darkness, rather than physical gates or a physical construct. Next chapter. Definitions. Para, hack, hackers, Luciferian, hackers, by proxy a Trojan horse, kosher, clean, rich, innocent, cookie-cutter image, or polar opposite, the antagonist, irregardless if antagonist is a strawman fiction or the real deal true pedigree demon, will have similar or same effect dealing in outcomes, fallout, settling of any particular utterance or, quote, hard crimes, end quote, that manifest abound during or after a, quote, nuclear winter, end quote, within a sea, period, quote, period, Revelation considers compound interest of perpetual, infinite loops of chaos enforced on the public, a butterfly effect, otherwise no prison industrial complex, awards, award ceremonies, music industry, film industry, porn industry. Why? Common thread, common denominator, parallel, correlation, best actor, aka Luciferian hacker, via proxy, backdoor, Trojan horses, kosher, clean, rich, quote, organic, end quote, innocent cookie cutter image, awards only go to the best actor, life, theater, life is theater, applause, during or in after, Romans chapter 10, verse 9 through 12. And the award, quote, well done, my faithful servant, end quote, goes to bride of Christ. Still, both life and, quote, after, end quote, life is theater. After, here is catch 22. Afterlife is merely return back to the future, kingdom of heaven, outside of time. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5 through 12. Long before Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Quote, back to the future, back from the future, end quote, either or, synonymous. Next chapter, bad water. Reverse engineering constructs, i.e. perceived inward reflection, Satanism, playing the victim / innocent, I didn't know I was young, etc. Deflection techniques, hoping against hope, forcing what won't, that tear ducts may pry open, causing the eye gates to flood and release rivers down her cheekbones. These are known as tells, signs, red flags, like something is amiss, off, not right, something is a lie, etc. For your visual illustration, typically when Jane Doe wails or sobs, she has to be supported by friends, family. Her weight has to be supported by friends and family to help prevent her knees buckling from giving way, or her legs' strength from giving out, unable to support her own weight, because every wail is the sum of chaos within. The forerunner processes train wrecks her entire railway system momentarily, quote, offline, end quote. I'm sure time slows to a crawl within an ultra-rare and ultra-dense cocoon set apart from time and space, or things related to who, what, where, when, why, of any aspect outside of what birthed the inward black hole of chaos, may come and go in cycles initially. What would be referred to as, quote, mental break, end quote, or meltdown. The entire neural network derailed momentarily. What would explain typical Jane Doe lacks proper leg strength, unable to prop up the body weight because the creature's soul and spirit wails out in agony, sorrow, grief, sadness, confusion to the Most High. On the 6 o'clock news, because her baby was gunned down, directly, indirectly, doesn't matter. To the mother, who, what, where, when, why, people, places, things, events, circumstances do not matter. To the mother, what causes the spirit and soul to wail out to the Most High God? It's the simple truth: her baby is gone from this life, this physical realm, the constructs that exist on this physical realm of existence, etc. These kinds of spirits wreak total havoc momentarily upon the creature, the entire compass of the heart, north, south, east, west, 20,000 leagues down, all the way to the sea floor. Every iota that makes up and comprises the heart is wrecked. Next chapter, pattern recognition. Back to crocodile tears of the wicked, of the Jezebelic, as a deflection technique, hoping against hope to force what won't, to pry open the eye gates, hoping the tear ducts will flood the cheekbones. Don't let demented, reprobate-minded, psychopathic, sexual predators manipulate, trick, or deceive you by a simple omission. Quote, I don't know what you're talking about, end quote. Quote, it's just entertainment, end quote. Quote, I'm innocent, end quote. It wasn't, quote, it wasn't intentional, end quote. Quote, it wasn't on purpose, end quote.